Let's evaluate the limit as x approaches pi over 3 of cosine of x minus 1/2 divided by x minus pi over 3. As x approaches pi over 3, the numerator approaches cosine of pi over 3 minus 1/2. Cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2, so the numerator approaches 0. The denominator approaches pi over 3 minus pi over 3, which is also 0. So we have this 0 over 0 expression. It's called an indeterminate form. It does not mean that the limit doesn't exist. It means we have to do some more work in order to find what the limit equals to. This limit would be computed easier by using derivatives, and we'll return to this very same limit when we learn derivatives in a future video. But at this point, we don't know derivatives, so we have to rely on known limits and a trigonometric identity. So here's what we need to use to evaluate this limit. Number one, this known result that was done earlier, the limit as y approaches 0 of sine of y over y is equal to 1. The second thing we need is another limit as y approaches 0, cosine of y minus 1 divided by y. This limit is 0. And the third result we're going to need is a somewhat familiar trig identity. Cosine of a plus b equals to cosine of a times cosine of b minus sine a times sine of b. So we're going to use all three of these in the process of evaluating this limit. Let's begin by making a substitution. Let y equal to x minus pi over 3. Now, as x approaches pi over 3, clearly y will approach pi over 3 minus pi over 3, which is 0. And if we solve for x, x is equal to y plus pi over 3. So our limit, that is a limit as x approaches pi over 3 of cosine of x minus 1/2 divided by x minus pi over 3, can be expressed using variable y as limit y approaches 0 cosine of x, but x is y plus pi over 3 minus 1/2 divided by x minus pi over 3, which is y. So this limit will be easier to evaluate. Now let's use the trig identity on cosine of y plus pi over 3. So using the trigonometric identity, we get the limit as y goes to 0, cosine of y, cosine of pi over 3 minus sine of y times sine of pi over 3 minus 1/2, and all of this is divided by y. Now cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2. Sine of pi over 3 is square root of 3 over 2. So this is the same as the limit y goes to 0, 1/2 times cosine of y minus square root of 3 over 2 times sine of y minus 1/2 all over y. Now we're going to take this term that has 1/2 cosine y and this term minus 1/2 and factor out 1/2. So this gives us the following. This is equal to the limit as y goes to 0. We factor 1/2, that leaves cosine of y minus 1, and then it leaves minus square root of 3 over 2 times the sine of y all over y. And let's express this as a difference of two limits. The first one will be limit y goes to 0. We can take the 1/2 and put it in front, 1/2, and we have cosine of y minus 1 divided by y minus, we can take square root of 3 over 2 again in front of the limit. Limit y goes to 0, sine of y divided by y. Now, these are results 1 and 2. This limit I'm circling now here goes to 0. This was derived in an earlier video, so if you are not sure how to do that, you can look that up. And of course, this was also derived in an earlier video. This is the limit of y going to 0, sine y over y. That limit is equal to 1, so that gives us our final answer, 0 minus square root of 3 over 2, which is minus square root of 3 over 2. So let's recap this. After using those three known things in order to break down the original limit, we're able to discover that the limit as x approaches pi over 3 of cosine of x minus 1/2 divided by x minus pi over 3, that limit is equal to minus square root of 3 divided by 2. For more videos, visit www.mathprepvideos.com.